हेलो एवरीवन। पिछले चंद सालों में आफ्टर कोविड और पब्लिक ऑफिस रन करने के बाद बहुत कुछ मैंने सीखा और देखा। अब आपकी दुआओं और बहुत से लोगों के बेहद इसरार पर मैं ज़ीशान साद आपसे गुफ्तगू और आपस की खास बातें करने आ रहा हूँ। Every Sunday at 6 p.m. ज़ीशान on air में बहुत मजा आएगा and I'm looking forward to it.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening, everyone. This is Zishan Isaac with Zishan on air every Sunday from 6 p.m. and onwards, and we'll dive right into the key topics. I'll start first with the global politics, with the global Middle East upheaval. A lot of political pundits and even some world leaders are saying, oh, what just happened? We cannot believe, we cannot imagine that Bashar-Al-Assad fled. Well, what were you expecting? 500,000 people are dead as we speak. Over 6 million people have become refugees. And this fighting that is going on in Syria, we will get to some of the key aspects in terms of how this whole departure of Bashar al-Assad, what the day after will look like. I'm happy for the Syrians. And obviously, this is something where they're getting some hope. Hope is great, but I hope that this hope will last forever or for quite some time. But who has taken over? Who are these people? And are these the most wanted or $10 million bounty on his head by the United States of America? So we'll discuss that. So I find it astonishing, and it's not a surprise to me at all, because that's what happens. 54 years of brutal dictatorship between a father and a son came to an abrupt end. And I wish this fella, Bashar al-Assad, who has now fled to Moscow, he is going to be happily living over there. Where is justice? Where is accountability? And the Russian Foreign Ministry already announced that they have granted asylum to this person who many Syrians, and I quote Syrians, who call Bashar al-Assad a murderer, a mass murderer, a killer, and a brutal dictator, according to Syrians. So let's talk in terms of some of the timeline. And for past many years, after 8 years, Aleppo was conquered several days ago, and they moved very fast from Aleppo to Homs. Homs is the third largest city. The second largest city is Aleppo. So they went outside of Aleppo, or the outskirts of Aleppo, that's at the north of Syria. And then from there onward, they continued to march on different types of vehicles. And those who are watching me live on social media and on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, I'm sharing some pictures here. This is obviously the statue of Bashar al-Assad that basically fell down. Bullet holes on his face, on the buildings. There was a lot of terror and anxiety as well while this was happening. Who came in and who is the leader? We'll talk a little bit in a few minutes. We can see the entire convoy of these fighters or rebel fighters on bikes and on pickup trucks. And then in this picture, obviously, we see gunners on the same trucks. And then the rest, as you say, people with bazookas and rocket launchers on their shoulders, what have you, with their masks on. You cannot see their faces because many of them belong to Al-Qaeda. Remember Al-Qaeda? We were told that they're done, they're finished. Well, they are operating under a new name. And then people obviously are also praying. Who are these people? They are actually radical Islamic Salafis. That's who they are, according to the media and according to Reuters, BBC, and ABC, CBS, New York Times, you name it. And then IDF, remember IDF? Obviously, the war in Middle East is still on. We saw the devastation of Gaza and then Palestinians and then West Bank. IDF takes over. Syrian Hermon. So this is another mountainous range, and then they have taken over and they basically strike Syrian. They said that we have taken over Syrian Hermon, which is the area, and then they're striking some of those areas as well because of Syrian chemical weapons factory, what have you. And then Russia, as I mentioned earlier, Syria's Assad in Moscow after deal on military bases. Russian state media and Russian foreign ministry announced few hours ago. Now, let me tell you a little bit more in terms of how did we get here. Well, it's not that difficult to understand how we get here, but still, I will share some of the key elements. First of all, who is this fellow named? His name is Muhammad al-Golani. Muhammad al-Golani, he is the rebel leader of HTS. What is HTS? That is the organization, and they are the ones who are actually controlling Syria. And Muhammad al-Golani, he also has a head bounty of $10 million on him. He used to be with Al-Qaeda, and then over the years, he became moderate. If you see some of his pictures and photos previously, he had a long beard, now a shorter beard. Maybe that's moderation for many. And I'm just stating facts here. And then, obviously, after 8 years, Aleppo, they took over, and Homs, and now Damascus. 500,000 Syrians are dead. It's a dark chapter in the history of humanity, ladies and gentlemen. 500,000 Syrians are dead. Over 6 million have fled and became refugees. Many took refuge in Turkey, and many took refuge in Jordan and other areas. And this 13-year civil war, where rebels wanted to throw Bashar-Al-Assad, and Bashar-Al-Assad was backed by Iran and Russia. So huge blow to Iran and Russia, because the Russian foot in the Middle East and his man is gone. So now you can connect the dots and understand what is happening here. President-elect Trump and President Biden, for the first time in many months and years, they're both on the same page. And they said that this is not our fight. Obviously, it's not our fight, but 900 troops are still stationed in Syria. And whose fight is it? Is it Benjamin Netanyahu, your boy, his fight? So these are the questions that political pundits are also asking. So I'm just the messenger here. And like they say, I'm reporting, you decide. How can you allow this war criminal and murderer to just leave the country? First, they fled. The last plane took off. That's what Al Jazeera reported. And that took off from Damascus. It went to Homs, circle around. It was still on the open source and this open platform for flight trackers. And then you cannot track this plane anymore because they switched it off. So it cannot be tracked, and they head towards Moscow. All these airspaces, because you cannot just go to Moscow in a vacuum. So everyone knew what was happening, or some people or some of the head of the states knew. So the mainstream media is trying to sell this idea, oh my gosh, what happened? And CNN and all this other mainstream channels, they're all over it today. But are we that naive? Are we that ignorant? Well, many people are, but many people are also following this very closely. Now, let me tell you one more thing about this whole aspect of HTS, which is banned by the United States of America. It's a terrorist organization also. But there's also Syrian, but the same organization, HTS, is supported by Turkey. Erdogan, he said that we had nothing to do with it, although how they got all these weapons. And they were having the blessings of Erdogan and Turkey, because many Turks are also in this group, as reported by Reuters and many other news outlets. There's also another force called SDF. This is the Syrian Democratic Forces, in majority a Kurdish and led organization, Kurdish-led organization. Remember Kurds of Iraq? So they are at the border of Iraq and Syria, and many towns like Raqqa and Abul Kamal, etc., and some other towns, they're actually in control of SDF. SDF is the one that is actually a terrorist organization considered by Turkey. US does not consider SDF a terrorist organization. So I hope this peace prevails, because all these groups, they're going to fight. Hopefully not, but let's see. And then while President Bashar-Al-Assad regime was toppled or coming down, there were 75 reports of drone strikes on ISIS and ISIL backed militants or those militants in those regions. So something that was reported by some news outlets as well, like CNN and others. One more thing with regards to this lightning advance, this is a terrorist organization designated by United States. And even Turkey considered, but then they had a change of heart, and they basically, Erdogan and Turks, they were waiting to see, okay, how the ground reality would shape up. And now we have Mohammed al-Golani, who has a bounty of $10 million on his head, is the de facto leader of Syria. From 4 p.m. till 6 a.m. in the morning, they have a curfew. So no Syrians can go out, because there were mass lootings in government buildings and also fear of looting. And there is calm. That's what Clarice Ward, who is a CNN journalist, investigative journalist, she always does a very good job, and she puts her life in danger. She said that she was in Syria in 2011, and the border was just closed and very difficult to get through the border. Now, just in the past 24 hours, there are open borders. Anyone can go to Syria. Who can slip into Syria? God knows. So this is the mess created by the former Republican president, George W. Bush, when he attacked Iraq, and Saddam Hussein. Everyone talked about what would happen after the exit of Saddam Hussein, or after Saddam Hussein is no more the president. We know Iraq is still in a mess. Then Syrian operation that was started by President Obama. And now here we are. In 2024, all the world leaders, and many of them, they are just surprised that, oh, what just happened here? So this is not a surprise to any of those journalists and any of those people who have been covering Syria for many years. There's a sigh of relief that hopefully this peace will prevail, and our thoughts and prayers are with those families who have lost their loved ones. 500,000 people are dead, and over 6 million people are refugees, Syrian refugees. It is one of the most astonishing and sad chapters of human history, but hopefully peace will prevail, and our thoughts and prayers with those family members, because 500,000 Syrians is a very big number who are dead. No accountability, and Bashar al-Assad could have fled earlier, but he held on to the power, because this is where the proxy wars are being played in this geopolitical region, where Russia is involved, Iran is involved, USA is involved, Turkey is involved, and obviously Israel, and then others. So now on some information with regards to China. China has put a ban on gallium and many other raw materials that are used in chips and microchips and in circuits. They put a ban on US, and they have also said that we are not going to buy soybeans from the United States of America. That will be a huge impact on the agriculture industry and to the farmers, US farmers right here in the United States. This is in retaliation to the tariffs that were announced by President-elect Trump. Economic growth of China before COVID was at 7.5%, and now it has failed to reach that target. It is now at 4.5%. So China also would like to make a deal with the US and with the President-elect Trump, because they need to increase the consumption, internal consumption, which is at 60-70%, because their GDP is also slowing down. It's at 4.5%. So there's a 3% drop. And then also with regards to domestic news, on the domestic front, President Biden has pardoned his son, Hunter Biden. Father and son love will be shared for decades, I would say, on this front. But laws were broken, and laws were then used to pardon his son, Hunter Biden. Trump has said maybe January 6th committee members, quote, for what they did, honestly, they should go to jail, unquote. That's what President-elect Trump has said. And then continued reservations on Pete Hexet's appointment and this nomination as defense secretary, who, if confirmed, will lead almost $1 trillion. That's the budget of Pentagon and the defense budget, and oversee 3 million employees. So there is this news that also came out with regards to his drinking problem. That's what some of his own accounts, in terms of his drinking problem at 10 a.m., that's what some news anchors, they were also asking this question, and let's see if he's going to be confirmed or not. So anyway, those are the key news and topics that I discussed. We will discuss it more in our local native language that the station audience basically listen to, which is in Urdu and Hindi. But before we do that and I sign off, I would like to thank our key advertisers and sponsors. Because of them, we are able to provide you facts and key information and news and analysis on these key topics. So first of all, Affordable Insurance of Texas. I would like to thank Affordable Insurance of Texas, AITinsurance.com. Visit them for your auto insurance, health insurance, as well as commercial insurance and homeowners insurance. You name it, all insurance products and different types of rates that are affordable. Contact Affordable Insurance of Texas. You can visit them, AITinsurance.com, 713-785-4000. You can see their number on the screens on social media, 713-785-4000. Avesta Houston, they are located at 11165 Westheimer Road, Westheimer and Wilcrest. AvestaHouston.com is their website. They say we serve Persian and Mediterranean cuisine, and Avesta Persian Grill. Their number is 713-781-5555, 713-781-5555. So I would like to thank Avesta Houston as well, Avesta Persian Grill, and visit avestahouston.com. Roop Sari Palace, they say they have men's shalwar kameez, kurta, pajama, that's traditional dress, lots of varieties, and sherwani, that's another traditional dress, hundreds of designs. Those who are out of state or out of Houston, you can go to their website, roopsari.com. R-O-O-P, Roop Sari, S-A-R-I.com. So we'd like to thank Roop Sari as well as one of our sponsors and advertisers. And then we'd like to welcome Demasis. That's right, Demasis.com. You can visit them online. They have a lot of locations. Demasis, they have the authentic Mediterranean cuisine at Demasis restaurant. And I would say by far my favorite restaurant when it comes to all you can eat buffet, because that's what they serve, buffet. And they have kebabs, they have hummus, they have baba ganoush, you name it. They have lamb shanks, they have all these different kinds of salads. I mean, mouth-watering items. So they have a lot of locations in Houston, greater Houston area, even outside of Houston. They are even in California, they're in Austin, they are in San Antonio, they are in Dallas at Fort Worth area. You can check out all their locations at demasis.com, DIMASSIS.com, and it's all you can eat buffet, and you will get the taste of Mediterranean cuisine and buffet style, all you can eat. So visit demasis.com, and when you go there, mention my name as well. Zishan On Air has sent you, and if you have never visited Demasis, that's how you support this program. You support Zishan On Air, you support what we are doing, what I'm trying to bring you, all this information and analysis and key discussion topics that no one even wants to discuss. That's how we get to the root cause and the root causes of issues as well, because public opinion matters in this country. So we would like to thank Demasis as well as one of our advertisers. So visit demasis.com. With that, I'm signing off from social media. We'll continue here on traditional media on 95.1 FM, 1460 AM. With that, signing off. Thank you, and share and subscribe on our YouTube channel, Zishan On Air, and then share and subscribe and share with others, and then with Facebook as well. Share with your friends and family and support Zishan On Air. Thank you.